YouTube just deleted 4.7 billion views of content. Then they launched tools to help creators make more AI videos. That's not an accident, it's actually a warning about what just changed for everyone creating with AI. I'm going to show you exactly which side of this YouTube decision you want to be on, because 2026 is the year that deciding actually matters. Look, here's what's happening. AI tools have gotten so cheap and so fast that in the last year, something unexpected happened. The internet filled up with low-effort garbage. And I don't mean accidentally bad, I mean, it's intentionally designed to grab your attention as quickly as possible with no regard for quality. It's called AI slop, and it's everywhere. 1 in 3 videos YouTube's algorithm shows new users right now is classified as AI slop. That's not a small problem. But here's the part that actually matters. People are making serious money off this. Not thousands. I mean 6 figures annually. One 22-year-old college dropout is currently making $60,000 a month, posting bizarre AI-generated content. YouTube noticed this pattern, realized the platform was drowning in it, and made a decision. They removed 4.7 billion views in January 2026 alone. But at the same time, they're also launching new AI tools for creators. So YouTube's either confused about what they want, or they're sending a very specific message about how content creation is changing. I spent the last few weeks digging into exactly what's happening. Here's what you need to know if you create content, watch content, or honestly, if you just use the internet. First, let me define this because the term AI slop isn't obvious if you haven't encountered it yet. AI slop is low-effort, mass-produced content created with AI specifically designed to go viral through shock value or novelty, not quality. Think of it like spam, but instead of filling your email inbox, it's filling your social feeds. The goal isn't to be good, it's to be interesting enough that you watch for 3 seconds, which triggers an ad, which generates revenue. That's the entire business model. Here's what makes it different from legitimate AI content. A quality creator uses AI as a tool to enhance their work. They spend time fact-checking, editing, injecting personality. Slop creators skip all that. They generate hundreds of videos in a few hours and upload them, betting that randomness will occasionally hit. The thing that makes slop recognizable is that it's often bizarre or grammatically weird in a specific way. You've probably seen examples without realizing it. Those surreal images of shrimp Jesus that flooded Facebook in 2024. That's a famous example. Or those weird chimeric animal creatures called Italian brainrot that went viral on TikTok. These are meant to catch your eye specifically because they're weird, not because they're useful or truthful. In September 2025, Merriam-Webster chose slop as the word of the year. Not AI, not innovation. Slop. That tells you how mainstream this problem became that a dictionary decided it deserved to define 2025. And here's the thing, it's not an accident that this is happening. There's a financial incentive structure that makes it rational. Let me break down the economics because this is where it gets interesting. A traditional YouTube video requires time and expertise. You're looking at hours of research filming, reviewing. If it flops, you invested all that time for maybe 100 views. Now imagine a different model. You generate 50 videos in a few hours using AI. Each one takes maybe 2 minutes to create. The one that goes viral pays for the AI costs. A creator from a developing country can target Western audiences where CPM rates run 10 to 20 times higher than their local market. Zero overhead, zero staff, just generate and upload. The numbers got insane fast. The top AI slop channels combined hit 63 billion views, 221 million subscribers, and roughly $117 million in annual ad revenue. One Indian-based channel alone pulled over $4.25 million. A 22-year-old bought a Tesla from a single month's earnings. Capwing's AI slop research found the reason it works is simple. YouTube's algorithm doesn't reward quality, it rewards watch time. Post enough and something sticks. Volume beats craft until the platform decides it doesn't. That moment came when YouTube's own data showed 1 in 3 new users were landing on low-effort AI content as their first impression of the platform. At that point, it stops being a creator problem. It becomes a brand problem. So YouTube made a move. Here's where it gets weird.
Oxford made brainrot the word of 2024. Not because it's funny internet slang, because it's real. Hours of low-effort content literally rewires your brain to crave constant novelty. Focus? Gone. Deep thinking? Harder. It's subtle, but researchers can measure it. Here's where it gets wild. A 2025 study from Nature found AI models go through the exact same thing. Train an AI on social media slop and its reasoning declines. Its memory degrades, not as a metaphor, as a measurable fact. So think about what that means. Humans get dumber from consuming AI slop. AI gets dumber from being trained on that same slop, which generates worse content, which trains worse AI, which generates even worse content. Researchers have a name for it: model collapse. A death spiral where the machines and the humans rot together. This isn't a content quality problem. It's an information ecosystem crisis, which is exactly why YouTube had to step in. YouTube didn't ban AI content. They drew a line between slop and actual creation. And that line comes down to one thing: effort. AI slop channels were posting up to 12 videos a day. No human editorial input, no fact-checking, no creative decisions. Just generate, upload, collect ad money. YouTube let it go on for a while. Then in January 2026, CEO Neil Mohan used the words AI slop directly in his annual letter to creators and called it a top priority for the year. Days later, YouTube deleted 16 channels, 35 million subscribers, 4.7 billion views, and $9.8 million in annual revenue gone overnight. And this wasn't even a new rule. YouTube updated its YPP policy on July 15, 2025, renaming repetitious content to inauthentic content. The standard was always there. They just finally started enforcing it. So what actually gets you flagged? Posting at a pace no human could sustain. Template videos that are identical except for a character name. AI slideshows with no real narration. Faceless compilations with zero commentary or perspective. If your channel has no creative fingerprint, the algorithm now assumes no human is driving it. But here's the important part. AI is not banned. YouTube's own head of creator liaison confirmed the platform welcomes creators using AI tools to enhance storytelling. Over 6 million users already watch auto-dubbed content. More than 1 million channels used YouTube's built-in AI tools in December 2025 alone. The difference is whether a human is making the actual creative decisions. Research, structure, editing, perspective, judgment. That's what separates a channel that survives this from one that disappears. For the first time, the incentive structure actually rewards the people who put in real work. AI is getting better. The obvious tells are fading fast. The six-finger giveaway? Newer models have largely fixed it. You need sharper eyes now. Visuals. Look for unnatural lighting that doesn't match the scene, background objects that blur or morph at the edges, and textures that look almost right but slightly off. Hands and complex poses still trip up most models under close inspection. Audio. AI voices flatten emotional peaks. They rush through pauses a human would naturally hold. No breath, no stumble, no personality. If it sounds like someone reading without ever having felt anything, trust that instinct. The text is overly structured with generic vocabulary, no real point of view. AI writes to cover a topic. Humans write because they have something to say. But the fastest test is the simplest one. Does this add anything? Is there a real perspective behind it? Could a human have actually made this, or does it feel assembled? If it feels assembled, it probably was. This isn't a prediction anymore. AI content already crossed 51% of all published articles by May 2025. It didn't wait for 2026. Experts put the ceiling at 90% of all online content being AI-generated by end of year, meaning something nobody in the slop business is saying out loud. Human-made content is becoming rare, and rare things get valuable. Brands are already feeling it. After 2 years of flooding feeds with AI output, they're now actively hunting for creators with genuine voice and real perspective. Authenticity isn't a buzzword anymore. It's a sourcing problem. The creator economy hit $205 billion in 2024. The projection to $1.35 trillion by 2033 is built almost entirely on the assumption that human creativity holds a premium in an AI-saturated world. If you've been losing to slop creators on volume, that game is already over. The next era rewards the things slop can't fake: a real person with something worth saying. 2026 isn't when this starts. It's when most people finally notice. Full transparency: the voice in this video is AI. But the research, the script, the structure,
The judgment calls about what actually matters, that it has human input. That's the distinction YouTube is now drawing, and honestly, it's the right one. If you make content, invest in the work. Not just because YouTube will reward it now, but because it's the only thing that holds up when everything else is noise. If you watch content, your engagement is a vote. Every click trains the algorithm to show you more of the same. Choose what you actually want more of. I pulled all the data and sources from this video into my research notes below if you want to go deeper. Subscribe if you want more of this kind of breakdown.